Hey there watching, my name is Aisha Ochuwa and I want to walk you through the process of starting a business from the very beginning. Now, starting a business is usually perceived as a very difficult endeavor, but I promise you, it's not as difficult as we perceive it to be. Most of the time, the difficulty we envisage is a result of fear. 60% of it is as a result of fear, and it's all in our head. The minute you come out of that space, that mental zone of fear, I promise you, you have 50% of your problems solved. Now, consider starting a business as learning to drive a car. This is my go-to example because it best describes everything I understand about a business. Before you learn to drive a car, you perceive it as something very difficult, something almost impossible to do. And you see those who drive as superhumans, like the things they know fell from space. But it's not that difficult. The minute you start your driving lesson, at the very first lesson, you understand that it's not difficult. I mean, wow, this is what I've been scared of. And then you do it. By the second lesson, you're prepared to get on the road. It's always like that. By the second lesson, you feel like you can face all the trailers and the policemen. By the third lesson, you probably hit the road, get on the express, move gradually, and before you know it, start to step on the accelerator and go fast. That's how starting a business is. Before you create your business plan, you think it is something difficult, like your idea is absurd and almost impossible to achieve. But the minute you start to have fun in the process, and every challenge the universe throws at you, you find a way around it, and you find yourself solving problems you considered rocket science at the beginning. After creating your business plan, the very next step is to identify your target market. This is where most people miss it. If you get this right, I promise you, the sky will be the starting point of your business. You need to know the kind of market for the product or service you have to offer. For example, if you make children clothes, then your best target audience will be people who are married. Now, what's the general notion for the marriageable age? That's between, let's say, 21 to 60. Those are the people with the buying capacity. Now, this age bracket covers aunties, uncles, grandparents, and parents. These are the people who will see the kiddie clothes and say, oh, I would like this for my little cousin, I would like this for my daughter, I would like this for my grandson. Do you understand? This is how to target a market. And you know the beauty of this? The beauty of this is that social media has made it easy. Social media applications where people mostly run their businesses these days, we're talking about Instagram, Telegram, Twitter, TikTok. They have made the target market identification very easy through sponsored adverts. So you can select your target audience. On Instagram, for instance, while sponsoring a post, you can select your target audience and say, I'm targeting females between this age and this age bracket. These are the people I'm interested in marketing my products to. Now, when people register for these applications, they put in their details, whether they are female and their date of birth. So this is easy for you to target your exact market audience. Once you have the targeting sorted, then you know the people to sell to. If you sell luxury jewelry, for instance, you want to target the upper class people, the rich ones. Where do you find these rich clients? How do you target them? How do you market to them? This is where you strategize on that. Identify your target market and work on your way around getting to them. The marketing strategy to attract the upper class will be different from the marketing strategy to attract those in the lower class. Now, those in the upper class will have the general motion that the more money, the more quality. Now, those in the lower class, they don't want to spend so much money, but want to get good quality. So your choice of words, your choice of marketing tips will be different. So you have to identify your market audience, your target market audience, and know how to get to them. Work on strategies to attract them. Understand their level and know what will attract them, because there is a difference. There is a difference. The interest to teenagers are different from the interest to the elderlies. So there is a difference. You should know how to attract your target audience, and you can only determine this when you know who your target audience are in the first place. After identifying your target market, the next appropriate step will be to create a legal structure that suits the kind of business you want to run. Now, it is important for you to sit back, look into the future of your business and understand what you want out of your business. If you intend to run a small business that you can just handle and just move on over time, then it will be best for you to, go for the sole proprietorship. Now, before I go to that, there are three main types of legal structures operated in Nigeria. We have the sole proprietorship, we have the partnership, and we have companies. Now, the sole proprietorship is regarded as the one-man business. Doesn't require any difficult registration process, doesn't require it doesn't have too many rules and regulations. It's just easy. All you need to do is register a business name and start your business, pay your taxes, go by the rules that govern your line of business. But sole proprietorship doesn't have a separate legal personality from the owner. So the owner can make decisions about the business solely. The business doesn't outlive the owner. If the owner dies, the business dies, because it doesn't have a legal personality. It doesn't have perpetual succession. If the owner goes bankrupt, it affects the business. Any decision the owner takes affects the business, because the owner and the business are one. So you need to understand, of which it has its benefits. Some of the disadvantages are, if the owner gets bankrupt, it affects the business. If the owner dies, the business dies. If anything that goes wrong with the owner goes wrong with the business, because the owner and the business are one. The sole proprietor takes full responsibility of every liability debt incurred. If you go and borrow money from any of these financial agencies, you pay, whether or not the money was used for your business. The business cannot borrow money. You borrow the money, you will handle everything. For instance, when drafting a legal document for a sole proprietorship legal structure, the document goes like this: Aisha Ochuwa Teller, carrying on business under the name and style of Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry. So because Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry cannot enter into a contract, because Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry cannot buy properties, because Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry cannot sue and be sued, Aisha Ochuwa Teller has to enter into that agreement on behalf of Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry. That's how it works. The reason for this is Aisha Ochuwa Jewelry does not have its own legal personality. So whatever is being done for the business will be done by Aisha Ochuwa Teller, because Aisha Ochuwa Teller is the only one that has legal personality. Sole proprietorship has a lot of benefits. The registration process is not so stressful. You can run it easily. You can use your personal finances to fund the business. No one will question you. You can just, run the business the way you want. As long as you're following the regulations that the regulatory bodies have set forth, you can maneuver your way around your business, run it the way you want at your convenience without having to answer too many questions. So if you intend to run a small business that you can manage and control by yourself, then you should please definitely go for the sole proprietorship. Now, moving on to partnership. Partnership is a type of legal structure where two or more persons or companies come together. They pool their resources together, their skills, experience together to achieve a common goal. Now, this is the easiest way to run businesses, because different people are coming together with a pool of knowledge. This person has an experience in this, has an expertise in this, is skilled in doing this. This person has the resources. Everybody comes together, two or more people, everybody comes together, joins all these things together to achieve a common goal. And in Nigeria, there are different types of partnerships. We have the limited partnership, we have the general partnership, we have the limited liability partnership, we have joint ventures, we have private-public partnerships, we have the strategic or cooperative partnerships. So these different types of partnerships have their different features. We will dedicate a whole video to explain the different types of legal structures in depth, and break them down into pieces so you digest and understand. So partnership is just different people coming together, pulling their resources together, skills, expertise, everything, experiences together to achieve a common goal. Companies enter into partnerships for a specific project. They want to run sales. Oh, I offer this, you offer this that complements what I offer. Why don't we come together for the purpose of this sales, to achieve this, make more profit, for more marketing reach. Your customers get to know about my brand, my customers get to know about your brand. It's a win-win. Now, in a partnership, the partners are jointly responsible for the losses and jointly share the profits that come as a result of the partnership. Now, this sharing could be equally or to the extent of their participation, to the extent of their contribution. So depending on what the agreement is, they come together, they share the losses, they share the liabilities, the responsibilities, the duties, and the profits. Now let's talk about companies. What is a company? A company is a fully incorporated type of legal structure that has a legal personality. A company has a legal personality separate from its directors and shareholders. This means that a company can enter into a contract, a company can buy properties, a company can sue and be sued. Yes, a company can. And when drafting agreements that involve companies, unlike the sole proprietorship where the person is the one entering into the agreement on behalf of the business, in this particular scenario, a company can enter into an agreement. So when drafting an agreement between a company and another party, it will be Aisha Ochuwa Limited, with so and so, and so. So the company is the one entering into the contract, unlike the sole proprietorship where the owner of the business enters into the contract on behalf of the business. A company also has perpetual succession. This means that the death, insanity, bankruptcy and insolvency, retirement, or change in membership of its shareholders and directors does not affect the legal personality of the company. For example, if there is a change in membership in company A, it does not affect its legal personality. Company A will still be company A. Company A can still enter into contracts. Company A can still owe debts. Company A can still be sued or sue whether or not its members have been changed. That doesn't take away the debts that company A owes, because company A has a separate legal personality from its directors and its shareholders. A company can either be private or public, and a company being either private or public can be limited by shares, limited by guarantee, or unlimited. A private company is one whose shares, rights, and stocks are traded privately. They are not up for sale to the public. A public company, on the other hand, is one whose shares and securities are traded on public markets, and these companies give information to the public about their business and finances from time to time, because these stocks and these securities are offered to the public for sale. So the public has to know what's going on in the company. That's why they give information from time to time. An unlimited company is one whose liabilities and obligations have no limits. There's no limit to the extent of liability of the shareholders and directors. The shareholders and directors, the owners of the company, are personally responsible and liable for the debts and obligations of the company. So when starting a business, consider these types of legal structures and pick the one that best suits your plans, the ones that best suits the vision of the type of business you want to start. Consider their tax obligations, legal obligations, consider the different features and pick the one that best suits your plan. Right after creating that brilliant business plan, sorting out your target market, figuring out the legal structure that is best suitable for your line of business, the very next step now is to think of financing the business. This is where the issue of startup capital comes in. How do you raise money for your business? Where do you get the necessary financing? Not to worry, there are different ways to raise money for a business. The very first one, which is the surest one, is your personal savings. How much do you have in your account? How much have you saved over time? Have you been saving towards starting this business? This is time to bring that money out and fund the business. If you do not have personal savings, then you have to turn to, or you can turn to, friends and family. Where friends and family cannot save you, there are other options. We have bank loans. Luckily for businesses, there are banks and other financial institutions that provide startup capitals. They have programs where they provide startup capitals for businesses. It may require a collateral or a very brilliant business plan. This is where the benefit of that business plan you created initially coming. Because trust me, where you have to seek investors, which is another way to get money for your business, where you have to seek for funds from investors or the bank, you have to create a business plan. They want to see what you have put down. If you have nothing to show, that means, you have it, is it all in your head? You must show them something. They want to see that you have your ways together. That's the best way to get money from them. Because I personally wouldn't want to invest in a business where I cannot see your plans for the business in the next 5 years. I want to know what you have planned. I want to see the brilliant plans you have put down. This is where the business plan will come in. So if you don't have a collateral to fall back on, there are financial institutions that accept a well-detailed business plan. Once you have this to show, they'll grant you the loan. Another way to seek funding for your business is through government grants. Now, different governments of different states offer different programs, support programs to help start up businesses. Now, they mostly do this for people in the agricultural sector, people who produce food crops. Now, there is a higher chance of a farmer getting a government grant than a dweller getting a government grant. So there are certain types of businesses that enjoy government grants. If your business falls under one of those ones that the government creates support programs for, all good for you. You can seek a government grant. Another way to get financing is through angel investors. Now, who are angel investors? These are people who invest in different businesses for equity. So they are mostly already interested in your line of business, or even if they don't have an idea of your line of business, if you're able to sell the line of business to them, sell the business plan to them very well, they may just be interested in it for equity. So I give you 100 million, I have 40% I own 40% of your business. You take 60, I take 40, I give you 100 million, use it to finance the business. These are angel investors. Another way to seek financing is through venture capitals. There are different venture capital firms that look for businesses with great potential to invest in. Now, the difference between an angel investor and a venture capital firm is that venture capital firms offer higher level of funding than angel investors. So they are willing to go all in, maybe even willing to fund the whole business, but they always seek a higher equity in return. These are different ways to fund your business. Seek the one that would favor you the most, the one that will be easiest for you to do, and go for it. Right after sorting out all of the above, then you move right into business operations. While operating your business, at every point in time, you should promote your business. Now, this brings me to the topic of business promotion. You must promote your business. Business promotion does not have an end date. You are your own walking billboard. Talk about your business everywhere you go. Your personality should speak good of your brand. Speak of your business. When you meet strangers, advertise your business. You are your first marketing point. Talk about your business everywhere you go. Do not be ashamed. Never meet a person without at least introducing your brand to the person. Market. There are different ways to market your business. Newspaper publications, online publications. The beauty of this is social media platforms have created a very simple way to reach new customers, to create an awareness of your brand through sponsored adverts. Make sure your ads run consistently. Constantly run adverts. Think of a strategy. Do you want to run adverts for a week, for once in a week, or do you want to run adverts for a week in a month or 3 months? Think of different ways to put your brand out there. There are so many ways to advertise. Social media adverts, email marketing, text messages marketing, different ways to advertise, printing flyers, creating journals, different ways. Talk about your brand. One-on-one advertisements, create videos, post on different social media platforms. Do not be ashamed of talking about your brands. Encourage people to talk about your brands. Get reviews. These are ways to market. Make sure the word is out there to at least 2 people every day about your brand. These little steps create the giant ones. A combination of all of these steps will make your journey through business easy. And whatever the universe throws at you, you find a way to solve, because you have solved 60% of your problems. So anything that comes just beside attractions, these are the major ways to start and keep your business going. And I promise you, the sky will be your starting point.